MudRFunR here. One-Eyed Willie is going to be the star of the show today. We had this out at the Mud Bogs many times, and it's been sitting for a number of years now. So the reason I'm starting with this episode is because this is basically where it all began, going to Mud Bogs and getting things on video. And then I started doing more recording, and turned out that this was going to turn out to be a variety channel. The very first time that we blew the engine on it, it was a Corvette inspired 327. I built it on specs of a 1968 Corvette engine, and this is the damage that we done to it. Enjoy. Doesn't look like much, but we're going to have to close her up. Ready to be loaded. Well, this is One-Eyed Willie after the Gopher Dunes. We started getting some knocking. I was winding her out at the end of the mud pit after I got out. The engine blew. We had a big cloud of blue smoke enter into the cab. Well, that's it for Willie. Then when I got home and I was jacking up the front end of the trailer, the angle of the engine was a little different, so then this was dripping out, and it looks to me like a mixture of oil and antifreeze. Doesn't look good. Yeah, you can see the antifreeze in it. And it was dripping out of the side of the engine, and I realized that my tray was getting full. So I ended up putting another tray underneath here. And this is what all dripped out of the engine yet after I got it home. Not to mention everything that ended up on the trailer. I'm not sure what type of engine I'm putting back in it. I may rebuild this 327, but I'm definitely not trashing this engine. Okay, the engine's all out. Got the truck all moved back out of the way. Now we can get a closer look at everything here. There's the hole in the oil pan. Right there, you can see something started to come through from the inside. That's not the worst of it. Worst of it is on the other side. You can see down in between there, this is what I had found. There's the piece of my camshaft laying down behind my flywheel, and right up above there you can see my camshaft trying to stick out the back of the engine. This here is what we found in my oil pan. I just put the plug back in so that I could take this. This is all pure antifreeze and water coming out of my block. And that's coming out of the oil pan. I don't see any oil in that pan. Oh, there's some oil coming through now. Looks to me like one of my rods is sitting all crooked in there. And then, well, when we took the pan off, there's another one of my rods laying on the bottom. Push rod. Another push rod. Part of my connecting rod. Don't know. Whole assortment of other goodies in here, which, oh, there's a lifter laying in the bottom of the pan. all that junk right there. Quite an assortment of stuff here. There's one of my rod bolts, slightly bent. So we're going to continue to take it apart and see how much more damage we can find. I said that this 327 here, I was not going to get rid of this engine. Well, I think that was the wrong answer. Looks to me like this engine is probably not going to be salvageable. The camshaft cover, torque converter bolts, some cast iron, and these are the pieces that I found in behind the flywheel. A piece of cast iron, my torque converter bolt's pretty mangled up there, and the other one was in my pan. I got my cam bearing pretty much done. That's out of the back of the engine. And then there's the piece that was laying in between the flywheel and the block. That's the back of my camshaft. There's the second piece that I found when I took the flywheel off. And this is my flywheel. It's got a few little chunks and marks taken out of it. I'm going to be scrapping that one. I think it's a little bit on the bent side as well. But the torque converter survived. Now we're going to start dismantling it. And this should not be too long. These here are completely out on this one. I haven't adjusted on any of them at all. But and that one fell right through the bottom. Just give it a little wiggle. Over here on this side, it's where the other two came out of. They're completely missing. These are all pretty much loose. Now let's have a look at the cam. Wow. I don't even know what that is. It looks like aluminum, cast aluminum. To me it looks like a piece of a piston or something up in here. There's a piece of a lifter. Another piece of lifter. Another piece of lifter. Aluminum. Lifter all busted out here. In the middle. Wow. That's just amazing. Put that in the junk pile. Whoops. Been rebuilt twice since I've had it. And I don't think there's gonna be a third time. This head's already trying to pop off. A little more antifreeze. After all that poured out before, I thought that would be the end of it. Ow! Well, I finished taking off the heads, and from what I can see so far, the heads, they look like they've survived. That piston, of course, that's done. That's the one that doesn't even have a rod anymore. And that's one of my push rods. That's what it came out looking like. Let's see if we can even get the camshaft out of here. No, I think it's stuck in there. I'm going to flip the engine over. And then we should have that one piece of lifter drop out so that I can get the camshaft out. The gun's still coming out of there. Jumped. This will take off the rods if we can get in there to get at them. Last two. Bearings pretty much toast. Nothing left. I'm going to start taking out the main bearings now, and then just have the crankshaft and the pistons left to take out yet. That's whatever's left of them. Main bearing pretty far gone. All the silver's gone. No good. No good. Also very much gone. And out comes the crankshaft. Maybe we can have that much luck with the cam coming out too, but doesn't look like it. Oh, hey, now there's a piece of the cam. The gear that runs the distributor. And two more lobes. Another junk pile. And this is where the rod broke on this one here on this side. You see all the gouging on the crank. The crank is done. Looks like no more 327. Now the two good ones. A few bites missing. Rod just a little bit bent. Maybe more than a little bit. And bottom of the cylinder right here. Got chunks knocked right out of it. Looks like that's where the rod must have connected it. And there's my other piston, what's left of it. Whoa. So it's no wonder there's bits and pieces of this. Oh yeah, see, now you can see the cracking now that it's out of the cylinder. And that's all that's left. And it's also dug into the engine block there. So, and the only thing I can't get out yet is my camshaft. There's one lifter that's stuck down in here. It needs to go. Now the cam's coming up. Oh. And there's the end of it. That's all that's left. Piece about this long. Well, 327's toast. Have a good night.